your cameras. Trust only the best. Protect your family, home, or business with 24/7 armed response.
Perimeter secure.
Remember, AmeriGuards it.
Lithia Subaru of Fresno proudly supports tonight's first segment of local news that matters. Lithia Subaru of Fresno. Subaru. Confidence in motion. Local news that matters. This is KC24 News at 11.
Stephanie Barujian.
And I'm Alexander Balaki, and we begin with this developing story tonight where the firefight in Toll House continues. 2 firefighters hospitalized after they were battling this fast-moving blaze eating up dry grassland.
The fire broke out on Toll House Road near Pittman Fall around 1 this afternoon. KC24's weekend anchor Jennifer Ortega reporting it's now at 171 acres and 50% contained.
Crews will remain on scene and continue eliminating improve containment.
Fire crews say the so-called house fire broke out around 1 o'clock this afternoon, sending flames and smoke into the sky near Toll House and Pittman Hill Road.
They arrived at scene and had a fast-moving wildland fire. It was burning around some homes up a slope.
Officials say with the tough terrain, 2 firefighters were hurt fighting the flames, with one of them having to be airlifted out of the area.
They were impacted by a rock coming down. It is extremely steep terrain, and both of those firefighters have been transported. CAL
FIRE says today's wind, the terrain, and dead trees were their biggest concern, forcing evacuation warnings for people that live nearby.
Everything's very dry, and the weather with the increased winds can compensate for these lower temperatures, so people really shouldn't lower their guard right now just because it's cooler.
Jennifer Ortega, KC24, local news that matters.
And we'll continue our team coverage of the house fire in a moment with KC24's Juanita Adame. But first, we're going to check in with our chief meteorologist, AJ Fox. And AJ, the wind's definitely fanning the flames today. Are we now done with them?
For the most part, and the winds were a lot stronger earlier, but now they've really started to back off. In Fresno and on the valley floor, it's less than 15 miles per hour. We're at 13 miles per hour right now in Fresno. It's Visalia at 6. You get the idea. It's a whole lot less, and the areas up and around into the mountains that were also relatively strong with those winds, they've all now calmed down very nicely. And even over towards the eastern side of the Sierra Nevada, where the wind was especially strong, that's all gone, and so that's backed off a little bit. So that's good news. The less wind, the better it is for firefighters in the area. Now, looking at our valley cam, our own skies have stayed very clear. The direction of the wind made sure that the smoke didn't exactly come into the valley. And so sometimes we've seen wildfires and putting all that smoke into the valley. This didn't happen with this one. So that's good news. Our satellite and radar showing our skies clearing very nicely. We had a little bit of cloudiness over the mountain areas, but as the sun went down, those clouds disappeared, and so our live radar also remaining very clear. We're at 60 degrees now in Fresno, 50s to low 60s across the rest of the valley. Cool spot is Lemoore right now at 53 degrees. Now, without that wind, we're going to get warmer because we're going to have plenty of sunshine over the next several days. The breeze will come back on Sunday afternoon, but this time, even though the winds will be probably a little bit greater than 15 miles per hour, it'll be hot instead of, like this time, it was cool with that strong winds. I'll have your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Now back to you.
AJ, thanks so much. Of course, it was a tense afternoon for Toll House residents as the smoke and flames came within feet of several homes. Our Juanita Adame continuing our live coverage now at the CAL FIRE station with more on these evacuation warnings. Juanita.
That's right, Alexon. We spoke to one Toll House resident that said he had been on edge all afternoon waiting for those evacuation orders. Steve Thompson was asleep when he said he heard a knock at his door.
Father-in-law came yelling there's a fire, so it's been burning for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours now.
His father-in-law, who lives on his property, had come to let him know there was a fire burning near all of their homes.
No, I don't know about scary. Concern is it, but it's just coming down the mountain. When you see fire coming at your house, it's a concern always.
The house fire incident started burning sometime after 12:30 on Monday afternoon. Crews quickly fought the fire on the ground and in the air to keep it from spreading. Close to 170 acres burned and several homes needed to be evacuated. But luckily, Thompson's home was not one of them.
The sheriff department's been up here. Everybody's been pretty helpful.
Thompson said he's grateful for the quick response from the fire crews and the sheriff's office that helped save his home and many homes in the area.
Oh, they're doing good. I appreciate them. They're lined up here. CAL FIRE's lined up, taking care of it. They've done a good job. They've come up and kept us informed and said, you know, we're not having to evacuate.
Now, all of those crews are expected to stay there throughout the night to keep this fire contained. Live here at CAL FIRE's headquarters, Juanita Adame, KC24, local news that matters.
Thank you, Juanita. Southern California now, a devastating fire there has destroyed at least 20 Ocean View homes in an exclusive Orange County neighborhood. The coastal fire raced up a canyon in Laguna Niguel this afternoon and then jumped from home to home, leaving entire blocks in ruins. John Finoglio has more on the destruction.
The flames moved so fast, they even caught firefighters off guard. The blaze, dubbed the Coastal Fire, chewing through more than a dozen homes in an upscale subdivision of Laguna Niguel Tuesday evening.
It got ahead, and that was mainly because of the wind, and it was kind of tough to catch. The canyon behind these homes is pretty steep.
What started as a small vegetation fire in Aliso Wood Canyon, just east of Laguna Beach, exploding in size within a few hours. The flames fueled by strong coastal winds that roared up hillsides and over fire breaks. Firefighters in the air and on the ground racing to save homes in the Coronado Point neighborhood as police ordered residents to evacuate. The firefight made more difficult by embers that landed on homes more than a quarter mile.
Are pretty good sized, and there's some of the ember cast that came over into the homes, so there could be some fire that's skunking around. We are very appreciative that the wind did die down, so that's in our favor.
For now, favorable conditions, but a reminder that California's fire season is now year-round.
Today is not something we're used to seeing this time of year or even during these types of conditions. We continue to talk about a fire year, that the fuel moisture is so low that those fires are taking off and running on us. Unfortunately, I believe this is what we're going to be experiencing over the next several months, over the next several years.
The California Highway Patrol searching for a hit-and-run suspect tonight following a deadly crash in Madera County. This happened around 11:30 yesterday morning on Avenue 9 near Highway 99. The victim identified as 65-year-old Robert Meza. Investigators say Meza was on his motorcycle headed east on Avenue 9 when the suspect made a left turn into his path, forcing him to swerve right. Meza was ejected from his bike. The CHP says hit and runs have become a disturbing trend.
We've seen an uptick this year particularly. It goes without saying, right? I mean, you need to stop and exchange information, render medical aid. I mean, it's a human being, right? It's the least you can do.
Investigators say it'll be difficult to track down the suspect's vehicle because it never made contact with the motorcycle.
A prison sentence handed down today for the man police say confessed to robbing Fresno street vendors this past Valentine's Day. The assault was caught on camera. Police say 21-year-old Martin Chavez picked up 2 gift baskets with 27-year-old man. Chavez has now been sentenced to 6 years behind bars after pleading no contest. The Fresno County DA's office says he'll serve his term in Wasco State Prison.
A warning tonight for the residents of Kerman. They are urged to boil their tap water before drinking or cooking. The health concerns triggered by a power outage. That outage this morning causing a loss in water pressure, raising the potential for contamination. Kerman residents should boil tap water for at least 1 minute before drinking or cooking until further notice. The city expects to have an update on water quality by Friday.
A new partnership aiming to tackle childhood hunger in the Valley. Valley Children's Healthcare teaming up with the Central California Food Bank, announcing a $150,000 three-year commitment. The initiative includes a food pantry at West Fresno Elementary, a partnership with the Fresno Rescue Mission, and meal boxes for families with children who are ill.
It is not acceptable to be in the rich San Joaquin Valley, the agricultural center of our country, and us go about our business and just think it's okay if not every kid doesn't get something to eat every day.
The Central California Food Bank says 1 in 3 Valley children do face some degree of food insecurity.
Still to come here at 11, Russia gaining ground in Ukraine as Ukrainian forces push back.
Plus the terrible toll the 2.5-month-long war is taking on citizens driven from their homes.
Also, a group of Good Samaritans save the day when they jump into action and save a woman's life.
And your weather headlines for tonight. Winds will back off continually, and that means it will allow for warmer temperatures through the weekend. In fact, the 90s return on Saturday. Upper 80s will then follow the following Tuesday. And your 4-day allergy forecast brought to you by Boz Allergy will be in the medium range. Oak, sycamore, and privet, the predominant pollens. And I'll have your complete forecast as KC24 News continues.
This is KC24 News at 11 with Stephanie Barugian, Alexon Balakian, and the certified most accurate forecast with AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox. Your local weather authority, KC24. Local news that matters.
I'm waking up my day, so let's get it started. Turn it up, turn it on.
The 3-row Subaru Ascent. Room for up to 8 passengers. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology. Standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 27 miles per gallon. Coming from Kelley Blue Book's most trusted and best overall brand for 2021, the 3-row Subaru Ascent. Love is now bigger than ever.
Get to Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Tonight, Jimmy has Florence Welch and Jimmy Buffett heading to Margaritaville.
Searching for my shaker song.
Plus, Florence and the Machine performs and News and Improved.
Man's still on first row in hour 3 of eye exam.
Tonight.
What makes News Nation different than the other network out there? Well, they're giving it to you down the middle.
They're focused on the facts and not opinions.
It's just straight to the point, fact-based news.
Is you're able to see yourself in the network.
I think News Nation is the most honest news station out there.
They give you a chance to decide on your own.
It's neither left or right, and it's news for everyone.
News Nation gives you straight, unbiased news. And if more people would watch News Nation, we'd have a lot less division in this country.
KC24 News is brought to you in part by Jacoby and Myers.
Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, wind was the big issue today, and what it ended up giving us was a much cooler. Morning low was 45. Both of those numbers are 10 degrees at least cooler than where it ought to be. 100 degrees, the record was set back in 1934. But in 1909, 40 degrees. We were 5 degrees away from a record low temperature. It's been a long time since we've said something like that. 60 degrees right now in Fresno, 54 in Madera, 60 in Hanford, 57 in Visalia, and a lot less wind on the valley floor. Probably over by Pacheco Pass, still some stronger breezes. You see these areas that are colored yellow, that's in the 20-mile-per-hour range, but the light blue areas are closer to 15 miles per hour and a lot less over the Sierra Nevada. So that's good news. Looking outside, our visibility is great. We can see downtown Fresno from our valley cam. Nice and clear skies out there currently. Our live radar saying the exact same thing. Our satellite picture showed the clouds and even isolated sprinkles and snow flurries for higher elevations, but they cleared out as the sun went down. Now we're waiting for this second wave of a little bit of cloudiness coming through. Now the real high pressure is going to reach all the way into Northern California, but it's part part of this little breakaway wave of clouds will come through the valley tomorrow. So I can't call it perfectly sunny. I'm going to call it mostly sunny because of that little wave of clouds that you just saw. So temperatures tonight are still going to be on the chilly side of 44 in Tulare, same in Visalia, 43 in Lemoore and 5 Points, Selma 45, 42 for San Joaquin, Oakhurst 39, 42 in Chowchilla, Merced 43 and 42 for Los Banos, and high temperatures significantly warmer, 76 in Merced, Firebaugh and Mendota 78 degrees, 71 even in Aubrey, 77 for Coalinga, Lemoore and Hanford 78, same in Visalia, Porterville and Pixley 76 and 75 expected in Delano. Air quality, that's still going to be in the good range for tomorrow, and for your renewable solar forecast, this is also good news. Very high numbers for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Higher for Friday and Saturday because you get a little more sunshine. And the thing is about all that sunshine, it's going to make our temperatures quite a bit warmer. The other part of that is our winds are backing off. So up to 15 miles per hour at the very most. We're below that now, but 47 will be our overnight low. Then tomorrow, without all that wind and plenty of sun through the day, we get warmer. 77 degrees the expected high. Then we get warmer still. 85 degrees expected on Friday, and then our temperatures continue to rise, hitting 91 on Saturday. Sunday, that'll be the hottest day of the week, 93, but it's that afternoon that the breezes come back. 15, 20 mile per hour winds will be pushing it, but it'll be breezy, and then we're going to see the temperatures back off to just barely below the 90-degree mark, and we'll just hover in those upper 80s through Wednesday of next week. And your regional forecasts are available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check them out there. And I'm concerned about it because it's not that there's going to be any wind advisories or anything like that, right. But a strong breeze today is what we had, and right. You saw what it could happen. Right. Next time it's going to be a lot hotter.
Yeah,
and so it'll be
not a good combination.
Right. That's the one benefit we had today was, yes, it was breezy, it was dry, but that made things bad, but it was cool. Right. Yeah. But this next time it'll be hot.
All right, AJ, thank you. All right, now time to check in with Scott Bemis.
He's going to tell us what's coming up in sports. Hey, Scott.
Hey, guys. A softball star from Coalinga got herself an impressive honor this week. We're going to fill you in. And we'll head to Visalia, where the Grizzlies and Rawhide went extra innings tonight. Highlights next in Sports Central.
Many places full of history mark the valley. Join me as I take you on a tour of the people and places that made history right here in our backyard. This week, a town named after a body of water that no longer exists. On the Map, Thursdays at 6 on KC24.
Grass is sprouting and flowers are blooming earlier than usual. Boz Allergy knows colds and viruses have similar symptoms to allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. With proper diagnosis and treatment, you can live a full life. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
Hobbytown is back, and we sell fun with something for almost every hobbyist, including trains, games, and puzzles, RC cars, and planes. We've got you covered. Hobbytown on Barstow and Blackstone in Fresno. We sell fun.
Summer here, and the beach, the city, the mountains, the desert, ooh, the bayou. I think I'm sinking. Definitely sinking.
New fuel-efficient Toyotas are arriving daily. Get low financing on RAV4 and Highlander, including hybrids, or get up to $1,000 cash back when you finance with Toyota on 4Runner 4x2s.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
If RC cars and planes are something you're into, Hobbytown has everything you need. From starter kits to top performers, we have the largest selection in the Central Valley. Arma and E-Flight headline our incredible selection. Hobbytown on Barstow and Blackstone in Fresno. We sell fun.
Grass is sprouting and flowers are blooming earlier than usual. Boz Allergy knows colds and viruses have similar symptoms to allergies, asthma, and sinus issues. With proper diagnosis and treatment, you can live a full life. Contact Boz Allergy today and breathe easier.
KC24 News is brought to you in part by the Fresno County Superintendent of Schools. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
The Grizzlies and Rawhide continuing their 6-game series in Visalia Wednesday night. Dogs were invited. Meantime, North Valley native Braden Ward, he's been barking loudly with his bat this for the El Cap High School alum. He's hitting nearly 400 after 2 more hits Wednesday. Now down 2-1 in the 7th. Bakersfield native Jason Roberson of the Rawhide evens things at 2 with a long shot to right. This one would go extra innings. And in the 12th, look at that. Deep Grizz end up winning this one 6-3 in extras. The Coalinga softball team finished off a perfect 10-0 championship in the West Sierra League on Tuesday. Now, they honored their 5 seniors before that win, including Emmy Walker. And Walker's coming off an amazing week on the diamond, and for her efforts, she's been recognized as the Northern California Softball Player of the Week by the respected website CalHighSports.com. In 3 games last week, she put up some eye-popping numbers that included 5 doubles, a homer, and 11 stolen bases. According to Max Preps, she's hitting .650 this season and is 4th in the country with 66 stolen bases. Hey, it was another good day to be a Bulldog in the big leagues. Jordan Luplow homered for a 2nd straight day for the D-backs. Unfortunately, his 4th of the year came in an 11-3 loss to the Marlins. The Angels also ended up losing to the Rays, but Taylor Ward had another big moment, homering as a pinch hitter in the 8th to briefly tie things at 2. His 7th homer of the season. The Giants began Wednesday 3 back of the Dodgers. With his team up 3-0 against the Rockies in the 5th, Luis Gonzalez helping to keep it that way. Nice sliding catch. Bottom of the inning, Brandon Crawford adding to the Giants' lead with a 2-run shot to right. Giants win their 5th straight 7-1. They pick up a game on the Dodgers and Padres, who both lost Wednesday. Quiet night for Fresno native Brooke Lopez, but the Bucs still found a way to overcome a 14-point fourth-quarter deficit in Boston. Down 1 late, Bobby Portis gets the huge follow to go off the missed free throw. The Celtics would not get another shot off thanks to some great defense from Drew Holiday. The Bucs win and go up 2 in the series. Lost by 39, but still lead 3-2 in that series. Finally, that video a little better than the rest from Wednesday. It's Bemis' best. And after 3 innings in Minnesota Wednesday, the heavens erupted with some wild weather. Torrential rain and high winds playing havoc with the grounds crew as they tried to get the tarp on the field there in Minneapolis. They ended up suspending the game with plans to resume it Thursday, but the whole scene and these hardy fans who were still trying to watch some baseball do earn a coveted spot in Bemis' best. Yeah, it might be time to go, guys. One more high school note. Buchanan baseball beat Clovis North, and Clovis West lost to Clovis. So the Bears clinched their 2nd straight outright track championship. We'll be right back.
With reproductive freedom under attack, who can California women count on to defend our rights? GOP-endorsed Senator Brian Dahle stands with Donald Trump. Dahle wants to roll back abortion rights, punishing women and doctors. It's why California women and Planned Parenthood support Gavin Newsom. A lifelong defender of the right to choose, Newsom took on Texas's restrictive abortion law. Newsom will keep California at the forefront, protecting and respecting women's rights and women's health.
I am here.
I am here.
I am here because our graduates
get good paying jobs. I am here.
I am here.
I am here because they provide free food, tutoring, and laptops.
I am here because they help me with childcare.
I am here because I didn't have to pay for tuition.
My tuition was free.
The State Center Community College District has been helping students for more than a century. You could be here too. Contact us today.
We are here because of the colleges at State Center Community College District.
She understands food grows where water flows in the valley. So State Senator Melissa Hurtado is working to improve water infrastructure and secure clean and reliable water for Hurtado works for the valley.
We're for fashion forward and budget minded. We've got the brands that set you apart and the styles to make you stand out. Now through May 8th, get a free $10 Tulare Outlets gift card when you spend $200 or more. Visit TulareOutletCenter.com for more details.
Midland Tractor has a history of partnering with local growers. We bring the latest technology to our customers and provide on-site training and startup with a promise to stay until your equipment is performing as it should. Midland Tractor Equipment Solutions, guaranteed.
You'll find innovation here and here. You'll find passion here, as well as here. You'll find commitment here and here too. At Community Health System, alongside every amazing doctor or caring nurse is a community of people who work together to support you. It's just another reason we say we are stronger together. Happy Hospital Week.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Diabetes, venous, and arterial disease can cause leg ulcers. To stay healthy, watch your weight and blood pressure and eat a healthy diet.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Ukrainian forces gaining back some ground, even as Russian forces advance in the east. NBC's Kelly Kabelia says Ukraine has also shut down a pipeline carrying Russian natural gas to Western Europe for the first time.
Tonight, Ukraine says they're pushing Russian troops outside Kharkiv, back toward the Russian border. In the villages retaken by Ukrainian forces, scenes of devastation. This convoy of cars came under fire while trying to evacuate, the soldier said. Unfortunately, children were there, he says. In Kharkiv, some still so frightened they're sheltering in a subway. NBC's Matt Bradley is there.
When the bombs started falling a few months ago, this station offered a temporary refuge. Now it feels like a permanent community underground.
Lilia has only left the shelter 4 times since February. I'll leave when the mayor or president says it's safe, she says. In the Russian-controlled east, Ukrainian officials said they turned off a key Russian gas pipeline today. Russia's energy supplier confirmed gas flowing into Europe fell by 25%, though Russia can likely divert gas to the war. Russia now controls more land than before the invasion, in the east and in the south. Ludmila and her son are from Kherson, now occupied by Russia.
Do you talk to people who are still there?
Yes, Ludmila says. Her parents are still there. This aid center, run by Ukrainians who fled the war, helps 2,500 people like Ludmila every day.
Why do you do this?
We need our Ukrainian people in Ukraine to work, to lift the economy, Kirill, who's from Mariupol, tells me, so we can pay for the army, he says, and keep fighting. Tonight, pro-Russian authorities in Kherson say they're going to ask Russia to annex the city. A Ukrainian official said they may as well ask to join Mars or Jupiter, and that Kherson will be liberated soon.
The Trump International Hotel in Washington, D.C. sold in a $375 million deal. The hotel was the focal point of an ethics scrutiny during the former president's time in office. Many critics of the Trump administration allege that foreign leaders would attempt to curry favors with the administration by staying in the hotel. The Trump organization made around $100 million. Breaking oil, despite a congressional committee finding that the hotel lost $70 million while President Trump was in office. The hotel will be rebranded as a Waldorf Astoria hotel.
Coming up next, a bad situation with a happy ending thanks to the help of some Good Samaritans.
They jumped into action and saved one person's life. We'll have that story next.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
You know what I love more than making money? Multiplying it! So get on over to the Tachi Palace every Friday in May for the 300K Richie Gamble Multiply Your Money. Winners will be drawn from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Receive 1 entry per 100 points earned. See the Premier Club for details. You multiply your money. You multiply your money. Everybody multiplies their money. Only at the Tachi Palace Casino Resort in Lemoore.
When I'm at my high school, I want to feel safe. I want to learn things I'll actually use.
I want to control my education. I want to control my future. I want to be authentically myself all the time, even at school. At Learn for Life High Schools, I can. I can change my story, and so can you.
Enroll anytime to control your education, completely free.
Owning your own home is a dream come true.
So many Californians never missed a mortgage payment before COVID.
The pandemic hit all of us hard.
We could use a fresh start.
If you've missed mortgage payments during COVID, California Mortgage Relief can help save your home. Direct payments to your lender to cover missed payments. No fees, nothing to pay back. Find out if you qualify today. mortgagerelief.org.
I'm the mayor of Madera.
Burstead councilman.
Small business owner.
Teacher.
While costs are killing us, Adam Gray helped oil companies make record profits.
Big Oil gave Gray thousands.
And Gray voted against lowering gas prices.
He even stood with Donald Trump.
When Trump let polluters put our water at risk.
Gray sold us out. We need Phil Arbayo.
Raised by a single mom.
Phil works minimum wage jobs.
And he rejects corporate PAC money.
Because Phil's the Democrat with us.
I'm Phil Arbayo, and I approve this message.
Whenever we've needed him, Jim Costa has been there for us. When COVID hit, he delivered billions to provide essential medical supplies, fund rural hospitals, and strengthen health plan. Costa secured relief for Valley farmers, small businesses, and working families, while delivering billions for water infrastructure and to increase water storage. Jim Costa for Congress, getting things done for the Valley.
I'm Jim Costa, and I approve this message.
Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
Hey everyone, Florence Welch is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Jimmy Buffett, music from Florence and the Machine, and some fun ideas from our audience suggestion box tonight.
Well, before we go, in West Palm Beach, Florida, a group of good help provide a happy ending for something that could have been very tragic.
Now, this happened 6 days ago when a woman apparently suffered a medical episode while she was driving. The street cameras caught the whole thing as the woman's car drifted, as you see, into oncoming traffic as she was slumped over the steering wheel. Her co-worker was in another car. She managed to round up people to help stop the rolling car, and the Good Samaritans were able to break the window to get to the woman. They moved the car eventually out of the road, and the local police department now wants to find all of the people who helped that day so they can get the recognition they deserve for saving the woman's life. And amazing that car never hit another car.
Nothing.
And hopefully she's okay.
We need more of that in our world, I'll tell you.
No kidding.
Yeah. All right, less wind.
Yeah, and more warmth.
Oh,
right?
boy.
So temperatures, in fact, getting into the 90s. We'll call that hot for Saturday and Sunday. And although Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be very close to 90 degrees, just doesn't quite qualify, but we'll be very close. Our morning low temperatures, look at the lower 60s and then upper 50s. So those numbers are going to be quite a bit warmer as well. So get ready for a little more spring.
Okay. Oh, borderline summer.
Right.
Yeah, but that'll be here before we know it. All right, that does it for us. Thank you for joining us.
Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Education matters at KC24, and we're dedicated to bringing you inspirational stories to strive for success. Watch these Education Matters stories now at yourcentralvalley.com. Just click Education.
Why would Stanton Optical choose a spokesbird? They're not your typical eye care company. I'm not your typical penguin. We're a team. There's no I in eye care. Wait.